Audio Jungle.
Hello, my name is Pedro Cardin, and I am a reporter for the Weather39 Weather Channel. And this episode is called Winter Wonders. First, we will be talking to Appa the scientist to learn a little bit more about snow. Next, we will be watching a video DIY to learn how to make crystals. After that, we will be speaking to a resident from Canada to talk about her experience with the snow. Next, we will be looking at some pictures and videos of the snow in Montana. Lastly, we will be learning how to make your very own snow. Appa will now be joining us.
Hello, I'm the scientist Appa. I'm a snow hydrologist from Canada, but I also study weather all around the world.
Hello, Appa. Thanks for being here with us today. I have a few questions for you before we head to Canada. Does it snow almost everywhere?
Yes, good question. Yeah, well, snow is usually in places farther away from the equator because of convection. Hot air edges through the equator and cold air falls to the north and south pole. These are just the basics, though, you pleb.
That is fascinating. But how does the fluffy powder called snow form?
Snow occurs when water vapor freezes before it hits the ground. Before all of that happens, you need two things to create snow. First, it needs the temperature of the atmosphere to be below freezing, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, or a drastic change in temperature. There also needs to be moisture or humidity in the air.
Wow, that seems like a very cold process. I have heard that there are billions of different patterns for snowflakes. Why do snowflakes have different patterns, and how do these patterns form?
Well, it is amazing how they form. Did you know that there's 1 in a trillion chance of duplicate snowflakes? Isn't it fascinating? Almost every snowflake is different. Each snowflake has its own unique path to the ground. Each piece of snow goes through different humidity levels and different clouds that all have different temperatures. During this process, a snowflake is formed. They can be different sizes, the largest ever being 15 inches wide. Depending on all these deciding factors, the ice crystals are formed. There are normally leftover ice crystals during the process. These leftover ice crystals rapidly attach on different areas of snowflake, creating a variety of shapes and sizes.
That is amazing. Well, let me ask you this. What regulates the weather and climate?
Well, first of all, the weather and climate depends on the amount of energy the Earth receives from the sun. The Earth's largest energy source, also different areas have different climates due to their geological diversity. Deserts have dry climate due to lack of water runoff and plant population, while rainforests have the opposite. Another thing that regulates weather and climate are greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases produce CO2, which blankets the Earth, weakening the ozone layer. This does not let as much heat escape, resulting in the general climate getting warmer. Many other factors affect this, including weather fronts, humidity levels, and air masses.
What is a front, and which ones cause snow?
Oh. A front can be cold, warm, occluded, or stationary. A front is a transition zone between two air masses. You have probably guessed that the front in Canada is very cold. It's like It's super cold, yet it is most likely occluded. This is because occluded weather traps a warm air front between two cold fronts. This can cause intense temperature change that is super intense, which leads to intense weather events. Also, two of these fronts can cause snow. The two fronts that cause snow are the warm front and the stationary front.
Another question we get a lot is, why is snow white?
Bless me, fam.
So why is snow white?
Well, actually, it's pretty interesting. It is because of sunlight. Visible right from the sun come in a variety of wavelengths that are seen as different colors. When light hits an object, it is a combination of wavelengths reflected back and determines the color of the object as we see it. If all wavelengths are absorbed, it looks black, but if the wavelengths are reflected, it looks white. So in snow, the wavelengths bounce off, showing a white reflection.
One last question.
Oh, come on.
Okay. How do the properties and movement of water shape Earth's surface and affect the system?
When water flows over a rock surface for an extended period of time, it will eventually cut a line in the rock because of the constant flow of water. Take the Grand Canyon, for example. It was formed by water continuously flowing over the rock formation, eventually carving out the rock formation we see today. Imagine if there was no water on Earth. We'd be all dead. You'd be dead too. Haha. How would we get rain without water? There will not be any rain. This is because the sun heats up the water on Earth and it turns it into steam that then travels into the atmosphere where it becomes cool and forms a cloud. When there are a lot of water particles gathered together, it will rain because of the strength of gravity is too strong for the weight of water to stay in the sky. When the water falls down to Earth, it has three options. Infiltration, which is when it sinks in the ground. The next option is to stay on top of the ground, which is surface runoff. The last option, or it will sit on top of the ground and melt. The water will always end up either back in the ocean waiting to be picked up, or it's just picked up and immediately goes back into the clouds.
Thanks for all the information, Oppo. Now let's look at this video DIY of making a crystal.
Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we will be making crystals. You will need 3 tablespoons of borax, saran wrap, a glass cup, food coloring, pipe cleaners, a stick, and 1 cup of hot water. While you're awaiting, take your pipe cleaners and twist them into a shape that you want. Use your finger to leave space at the top so that you can tie a string through it. Use several pipe cleaners to make it more thick. This is what it should look like when you are done. Now, you will need to add 3 tablespoons of borax for every 1 cup of water. Stir this until there is no borax left at the bottom. Using the string, tie the pipe cleaners onto the stick. You may need someone to help you hold it while you tie the string. After waiting a few hours, this is the final product.
Thanks for giving us that DIY, Ava. I will make sure to make my very own crystal too. Now, let's go to Canada to talk to a resident, Gracie, about her experience with snow. We are finally here in Canada at a coffee shop with Gracie. Do you want a coffee?
I'm good.
I'll have one. Okay, so what is it like to be inside of a snowstorm? What are you feeling during a snowstorm?
You see, Paige, it was very difficult for me. There are several buildings that collapsed. Many trees and power lines were destroyed. Some of the times we have snowstorms, people get hurt from being inside of a building when it collapses. They are also hurt from being near a building when it falls and getting hit by falling debris. In fact, 3 people were injured and were rushed to the hospital in some of the recent snowstorms. I thought that I could be killed or seriously injured, but it still haunts me. I am pretty used to these storms.
Oh my, how did your house not get destroyed? That is insane.
In another storm, my house almost collapsed. However, It was mainly just the door supports that were not able to hold the weight of the snow piled up outside the doors or windows. Fortunately, I was able to move around inside. Thank you.
I'm glad you are all right. How many snowstorms are there usually per year?
Well, here in Canada, it gets very dangerous. There's about 10 to 15 blizzards a year. In the most recent blizzard, the temperature went down to negative 13 degrees and 20 degrees.
Oh my, that makes me cold just thinking about it. In San Diego, we don't even have snow. Thank you for taking time out of your day to inform us about your experience.
Excuse me, I need to clean. Get out of here, man. Go to my job. Go to the church. Okay, look at my cousin.
I think you drink too much coffee.
I'm done.
Well, thanks again for being here.
No problem. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day learning about great features about snow.
Now it's time to transfer back to Jenna in the studio to look at some pictures that a resident from Montana sent in.
So here we have some pictures and a video from a resident, Elizabeth, who lives in Montana. When Elizabeth sent these to us, she gave us a small description too. I'll read it to you. I'm a school counselor. As like most every other school, we have recess outside, and when it rains, we have recess inside. In Montana, we only have recess inside when the temperature gets into the single digits. So in the first picture is my school during recess. The second picture is of my windshield in 10-degree weather. The third picture is showing how much snow is piled up on top of my car. In the fourth picture, it shows the side of a road with the signs covered in snow and frozen trees. The fifth picture is of my son when we went sledding, more like sliding down an icy hill on his stomach as shown in the video.
Thanks for showing us those pictures, Jenna. I can't imagine having to live in 10-degree weather. Now, let's go to Ava where she will be showing us how to make snow.
Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we will be making snow. First off, you will need a bowl, 1 container of baking soda, shaving cream, and sparkles, but these are optional. First, dump all of the baking soda into the bowl. I am using a 454-gram container. I switched bowls because I didn't think the shaving cream would fit. After this, you'll want to add in the shaving cream. I used about half of a can, which is more than enough. And a secret tip is if you want your snow to feel more cold and realistic, you can put your shaving cream in the fridge for a while before usage. You should get a consistency like this. The snow is fun to play with and it is easy to mold. Also, if you want your snow to be sparkling, you can add some glitter to it, but it's not mandatory. This is the final consistency, including the sparkles.
Thank you, Ava, for showing us that DIY. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you next time on the Design 39 Weather Channel. Bye!
Audio Jungle.